Welcome to Leader Lesson, Mark Zuckerberg, a show where we plunge into the world of thought leadership to extract timeless insights and wisdom. Today, we delve into the mind of a figure who has redefined the very fabric of how we interact and connect. Mark Zuckerberg, the mastermind behind Facebook and a trailblazer in the technology sector. With a story that took off from a Harvard dorm room and unfolded into a global narrative, Zuckerberg's journey is nothing short of remarkable. But why should we pay attention to the lessons he imparts? Because Zuckerberg isn't just the CEO of a tech giant. He's a visionary who has consistently been at the forefront of change, innovation, and impact. His insights don't just influence the tech industry. They shape the future of how we live, work, and connect across the globe. In this leader lesson, we tap into the wellspring of Zuckerberg's experiences to bring you actionable wisdom that transcends the boundaries of Silicon Valley. Here at Leader Lesson, an AI lab focused on advancing human potential, we harness our proprietary data processing and algorithms to distill the essence of leadership into digestible, empowering nuggets of knowledge. Today, we embark on a journey through chapters that encapsulate the pivotal themes of Zuckerberg's philosophy. We'll explore embrace incremental progress, where taking calculated risks and starting with what you have can lead to world-changing outcomes. We'll delve into the importance of champion openness and connectivity, advocating for a world where open dialogue breeds innovation and unity. We'll uncover how to uphold a service-oriented mindset, aligning personal goals with the greater good, and the significance of prioritizing long-term impact over fleeting success. In Balance Idealism with Pragmatism, we learn the art of dreaming big while staying grounded in reality, while Value Deep Relationships teaches us to forge connections that transcend mere networking. Foster a Culture of Directness will reveal how honest communication fosters integrity and growth, and Invest in Talent and Growth will show us the power of nurturing potential. As we delve into Leverage Technology for Societal Benefit, we'll see how technological advancements can be a force for good, and in Embrace Change and Innovation, we learn the importance of being agile and visionary in a world that never stops evolving. Prepare to feel empowered and equipped with insights that will not only change how you view leadership, but also how you live your life. Get ready to absorb the essence of these leader lessons from Mark Zuckerberg and be better off for it. Let's dive into a world of growth, empowerment, and transformative impact. Welcome to Leader Lesson, Mark Zuckerberg. Welcome back to Leader Lesson, Mark Zuckerberg. Today, we delve into a critical chapter entitled Embrace Incremental Progress. It's about the power of starting where you are, with what you have, and learning as you journey forward. As we unpack this theme, consider this thought from Zuckerberg himself. The biggest risk is not taking any risk. In a world that is changing really quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risks. In this chapter, we explore how Mark Zuckerberg's early experiences at Harvard led to incremental progress that eventually transformed the world. Picture a young Zuckerberg amidst the tumult of a nation at war, recognizing the profound need for a platform that could amplify voices. With this vision, he began a project from his dorm room, not with a flawless blueprint, but with a belief that action begets clarity and purpose. As Zuckerberg once said, ideas don't come out fully formed. They only become clear as you work on them. You just have to get started. This chapter is your starting block. By the end of it, you will grasp how to embark on projects with the tools and understanding currently at your disposal. You will appreciate that with each step and misstep, your knowledge deepens and your goals may shift. This is the very essence of progress: incremental, relentless, enlightening. Join us as we take a page from Zuckerberg's playbook, learning how to give life to ideas by simply beginning, growing with them, and shaping a world where every voice can contribute to the symphony of human progress. Let's embrace the journey of incremental progress, because, in Zuckerberg's words, progress often comes from individuals having more of a voice. Prepare to be empowered with actionable insights that will help you start, persevere, and evolve, just as Mark Zuckerberg did when he connected a campus and ultimately the world. Let's step into this chapter with the understanding that the path to greatness is paved with small, consistent steps forward. Welcome to Embrace Incremental Progress. As we continue our journey through Embrace Incremental Progress, let's consider how personal challenges can lead to profound professional insights. As Mark Zuckerberg once shared, he sets himself a new challenge each year, not only to improve personally, but also to enhance his work. One year, he learned Mandarin. Another, he aimed to run a mile a day. But it was his commitment to stepping outside his comfort zone and listening to voices across America that brought invaluable lessons back to Facebook and the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative. This story of personal growth highlights a key lesson for you, our listener. By engaging in challenges that push your boundaries, you can gain a broader perspective that enriches your personal and professional life. It's not about the magnitude of the task, but the act of stepping out and embracing the unfamiliar that can lead to unexpected growth and improvement. Zuckerberg's own entrepreneurial journey began in a similar realm of exploration and experimentation. Reflecting on his teenage years, he recounts the creation of ZuckNet, a communication system he built for his father's dental practice. It wasn't perfect, but it was a start, and it laid the groundwork for his future endeavors in social software. You, too, can take inspiration from this. Perfection is not the goal in your initial steps. The aim is to begin, to put your ideas into action, and to learn from each iteration. The creation of ZuckNet was a testament to taking action without waiting for perfection. As Zuckerberg humorously noted, his teenage innovation was faster to market than industry giants like AOL Instant Messenger. This story serves as a reminder that speed and the willingness to release imperfect products can sometimes trump the slow pursuit of perfection. For you, the takeaway is clear. Don't be afraid to start small and improve as you go. Your early efforts may not be flawless, but they are the foundation upon which future successes are built. Another nugget of wisdom comes from Zuckerberg's experience with CourseMatch, a tool he created to see what classes his peers were taking. This project wasn't just about helping students. It was Zuckerberg's first encounter with setting up a production server, a stepping stone to more complex projects like Facebook. The lesson here for you is to treat each project as an opportunity to learn and to understand that the skills you acquire today will pave the way for your future successes. Moreover, Zuckerberg's early decision to keep Facebook localized to individual colleges proved pivotal in its growth. It maintained the platform's relevance and privacy, encouraging users to share more openly. This strategic choice reminds you that sometimes constraints and focus can lead to a product's long-term utility and success. By understanding your audience and catering to their specific needs, you can create a product that resonates deeply and endures over time. As our chapter continues, remember these stories from Zuckerberg's life. They are a testament to the power of starting with the resources at hand and the courage to learn from each step. Whether it's a personal challenge, a family project, or a small-scale server setup, each action brings clarity and progression. Embrace this philosophy of incremental progress and let it guide you as you build, grow, and evolve your own ideas into reality. As we conclude this leader lesson on Embrace Incremental Progress, let's distill Mark Zuckerberg's approach into actionable insights that you can apply in your daily life to empower your journey towards success. Start with a clear vision, but be prepared for it to evolve. As Mark Zuckerberg has shown, your initial idea does not need to be perfect or complete. Begin with the intention to solve a problem or address a need, and let the details clarify as you progress. Value learning over perfection. Zuckerberg's journey with projects like ZuckNet wasn't about getting everything right the first time. It was about learning and improving. When you start a new venture, focus on what you can learn from the process rather than trying to achieve perfection. Take calculated risks. Embracing incremental progress means taking small, manageable risks that push you out of your comfort zone. As Mark Zuckerberg once said, the biggest risk is not taking any risk at all. Set personal challenges to expand your horizons. Just as Zuckerberg set yearly challenges for himself, commit to pushing your boundaries. This can lead to personal growth that feeds back into your professional endeavors. Recognize the power of constraints. Sometimes having limitations can actually drive innovation. Zuckerberg's decision to initially limit Facebook to college campuses is a prime example. Use constraints to focus your efforts and foster creativity. Build on small successes. Every small win is a step toward your larger goal. Learn to celebrate these victories as they come and use them as building blocks for greater achievements. Engage with your community. Understand that feedback is crucial for growth. Zuckerberg's projects often involved community input, which helped iterate and improve them. Engage with your audience or customers and listen to their feedback to make your product or service better. Embrace the iterative process. Recognize that progress is not linear, but often comes through cycles of trial and error. Zuckerberg's initial projects laid the foundation for Facebook through constant iteration and improvement. Stay flexible and adapt to change. As the tech landscape evolves, so must your strategies and approaches. Zuckerberg's pivot towards the metaverse is a testament to his willingness to adapt to future trends. Be persistent. Embrace the mindset that each challenge is an opportunity to learn and grow. As Mark Zuckerberg's path shows, persistence in the face of obstacles is key to making incremental progress. Remember that in the journey of innovation and leadership, small steps lead to big impacts. Implement these actionable insights in your life and let the spirit of embrace incremental progress guide you to new heights. As Mark Zuckerberg once said, progress often comes from individuals having more of a voice. So start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. Incremental progress is the pathway to greatness. Welcome back to Leader Lesson, where we delve deep into the minds of those who shape our digital world. Today, we continue our exploration with a figure synonymous with the modern landscape of connectivity, Mark Zuckerberg. In this chapter titled Champion Openness and Connectivity, we'll uncover the principles that drive Zuckerberg to break down barriers and unite people across the globe. Throughout history, we've seen how being able to use your voice helps people come together, declared Zuckerberg, setting the stage for our discussion on advocacy for open systems that promote connection and interoperability. This isn't just about technology. It's about fostering a collaborative ecosystem where each voice can be heard and can instigate change. Zuckerberg's narrative reminds us of the transformative power of open dialogue, from the abolition of slavery to the toppling of long-standing dictatorships. As we journey through this chapter, expect to gain invaluable insights into supporting and contributing to open-source projects, prioritizing compatibility and collaboration in your endeavors, and championing policies that promote openness. Zuckerberg's expertise, drawn from leading a platform that connects over 2 billion people, positions him uniquely to guide us through the ethos of openness that can revolutionize the way we build, innovate, and communicate. Prepare to be imbued with actionable advice and inspired by the vision of a world where technology transcends boundaries, empowering each individual to make an indelible impact. This chapter isn't just an exploration, it's a call to action. Embrace the lessons from Mark Zuckerberg and be part of creating a more open, connected society. Let's dive in. As Mark Zuckerberg once said, addressing the contrasts between different visions of the internet, China is building its own internet, focused on very different values, and is now exporting their vision of the internet to other countries. This is a crucial story because it highlights a critical juncture where the values that govern our most expansive communication platform are up for debate. Zuckerberg's perspective emphasizes the power of values, such as free expression, which have historically been central to American platforms. Reflecting on the rise of Chinese platforms, he raises a salient point. Is that the internet that we want? This narrative serves as a poignant reminder of the potential consequences when we don't advocate for the values we believe in. For you, as a listener, it's a call to reflect on the importance of actively supporting and engaging with platforms that align with your values. It's not just a passive choice, it's a proactive stance towards shaping the digital environment to be open and conducive to free expression. Taking this lesson into your personal or professional life, consider how you can promote openness in your own sphere. Whether it's advocating for transparent communication within your team, choosing to use and support platforms that prioritize user privacy and freedom, or even taking a stand in your community for open internet policies, your actions can contribute to a more open and connected world. Zuckerberg's story continues with his vision for the metaverse, describing it as a space with unlimited potential for interoperability. Teleporting around the metaverse is going to be like clicking a link on the internet. It's an open standard. This foresight into a technology that offers seamless transitions between virtual spaces and experiences showcases his commitment to creating a digital realm reflective of the internet's initial promise of open access and connectivity. From this, you can glean the importance of embracing and supporting open standards in emerging technologies, much like the foundational ethos of the internet. In your endeavors, be it tech development or in other fields, think about how interoperability can be a cornerstone of your work. How can you create systems, products, or services that are not locked within walled gardens, but instead contribute to a larger ecosystem, benefiting a wider audience and fostering collaboration? And what about small businesses and entrepreneurs? Zuckerberg's initiative to enable over 1 million active shops to thrive online, especially during the trying times of the pandemic, speaks to the importance of accessible and open platforms for commerce. It's been a lifeline for a lot of businesses, he noted, highlighting the positive impact of a connected digital marketplace. This is a compelling example for you to learn from, showcasing that openness can be a strategy for resilience and growth. As you navigate your professional journey, consider how you can create or leverage platforms that not only serve your business, but also contribute to a supportive ecosystem that benefits others, particularly during times of crisis. The act of opening up opportunities for others can be a powerful way to build a community and drive collective progress. As we move forward, let's embrace the insights from Mark Zuckerberg's stories, reflecting on how we can each play a part in advocating for a more open, connected, and interoperable digital world. Whether you're an entrepreneur, developer, or simply an engaged digital citizen, your choices and actions can contribute to this shared vision. In conclusion, as we encapsulate the essence of Mark Zuckerberg's principle, champion openness and connectivity, it becomes clear how integral this vision is for the future of digital interaction and innovation. Here are the key actionable takeaways that you, our audience, can integrate into your lives and professional endeavors. Open platforms. Actively choose and advocate for platforms that embody openness and freedom. As Zuckerberg cautions about the internet's varying values, make informed decisions about the services you use and support. Encourage transparent communication. Within your teams and communities, foster a culture of open dialogue. Encourage sharing ideas and feedback, much like Zuckerberg's ethos of giving everyone a voice. Promote interoperability. In your projects and products, strive for compatibility and seamless integration. Emulate Zuckerberg's vision for the metaverse, ensuring that what you create can operate within a larger ecosystem. Participate in open source projects. Whether you're a developer or not, contribute to or support open source initiatives. This strengthens the community and aligns with Zuckerberg's advocacy for shared innovation. Advocate for internet freedom. Engage with policymakers and stay informed about issues affecting internet openness. Your voice can influence the future landscape of digital communication and commerce. Empower others through accessibility. In your business, consider how you can provide services or create platforms that are accessible to all. Reflect on Zuckerberg's support for online shops, recognizing how openness can be vital during crises. Build with a community focus. In whatever you build, remember the human element. Prioritize creating connections and fostering community, mirroring the core values that Zuckerberg has instilled in his platforms. Stay informed and engaged. As the digital world evolves, keep yourself informed about new technologies and trends. By doing so, you can better understand and contribute to discussions about openness and connectivity. Embrace these steps, much like Mark Zuckerberg has, and you'll be well on your way to creating more open, connected, and meaningful digital experiences for yourself and others. Remember, every action towards openness and connectivity not only shapes your world, but also contributes to the larger narrative of our interconnected future. Thank you for joining us for this chapter of Leader Lesson. We hope you've been inspired to champion openness and connectivity in your own life. Stay tuned for more insights from thought leaders that can empower you to lead, innovate, and grow. Welcome back to Leader Lesson, Mark Zuckerberg. In this chapter, Uphold a Service-Oriented Mindset, we dive into the heart of what it means to truly serve others through innovation and entrepreneurship. The greatest successes come from having the freedom to fail, as Mark Zuckerberg once said. Here, we're not just talking about the freedom to fail, but the courage to succeed for a cause beyond oneself. Picture this: an expectant mother in Zambia, far from the nearest clinic, turns to the internet for the first time, her gateway to vital health information that could safeguard her child's future. Or consider the poultry farmer who, through the power of a simple Facebook page, multiplied his sales and fundamentally transformed his business. These aren't just stories. They are real-life impacts resulting from Zuckerberg's vision of connectivity as a pathway to empowerment. In this chapter, we'll explore how you can cultivate a mentality that's laser-focused on service and positive contribution, just as Zuckerberg has. By the end of this session, you'll walk away with actionable advice on how to infuse your daily life with a sense of purpose that aligns personal goals with the greater good. Zuckerberg's commitment to building a connected world is not just about technology. It's about creating a space where every individual has the opportunity to become a contributor. By giving people the power to share, we're making the world more transparent, Zuckerberg highlighted. This transparency is not just for sharing moments, but for sharing in the growth and betterment of communities. So let's embark on this journey to discover how you, like Zuckerberg, can leverage your talents and resources to uplift and serve others, propelling both personal growth and societal advancement. Get ready to be inspired and to transform that inspiration into practical action. Welcome to Uphold a Service-Oriented Mindset. As we continue to explore the service-oriented mindset of Mark Zuckerberg, let's delve into a story that exemplifies the significance of understanding one's role in a larger mission. As Mark Zuckerberg once shared during a visit to the NASA Space Center, John F. Kennedy encountered a janitor carrying a broom. When asked what he was doing, the janitor responded, "Mr. President, I'm helping put a man on the moon." This story encapsulates a profound lesson, that purpose is the sense of being part of something greater than ourselves, and it is this sense of purpose that creates true happiness. Now, imagine how you can apply this to your own life. Consider your current role, whether you're an entrepreneur, an employee, or a volunteer, and think about how your work contributes to a greater vision. When you start to view your actions as essential pieces of a larger puzzle, you not only find more satisfaction in your work, but also become more effective and driven. Recognize that every task, no matter how small it seems, has the potential to make a significant impact. Moving on to another powerful narrative, Zuckerberg spoke about the evolution of Facebook from a platform connecting friends and family to one that builds community. We've always done a lot of work to help people share and get a diversity of opinions out there, but now we'll also work on building common ground, he said, acknowledging the decline in local group membership and the consequent need for a new sense of purpose. The takeaway for you here is the importance of fostering community and commonality. In your endeavors, aim to bring people together and cultivate an environment where diverse opinions can coalesce into shared goals and deeper connections. Zuckerberg's stories reveal an ongoing transition within the tech industry, highlighting the responsibility to be proactive in ensuring that powerful tools are used for good. Addressing issues like the spread of fake accounts and misinformation, he emphasized the need for building AI tools to protect the integrity of important processes like elections. This presents a critical lesson for you: being proactive and responsible. In your sphere of influence, it's essential to anticipate challenges and take steps to mitigate them, ensuring that your contributions are not only positive, but also secure and trustworthy. It's also worth noting Zuckerberg's long-term approach to running a company. He understands that short-term gains should not come at the expense of long-term resentment. As you strive to make your mark, whether in business or your personal life, focus on building for the long term. Prioritize actions that align with your core values and mission, and be willing to forego immediate rewards for the sake of lasting impact and meaningful progress. Lastly, consider Zuckerberg's reflection on the power of voice, as seen through historical movements like the fight for civil rights and democracy. He cited Frederick Douglass's view of free expression as a pivotal force for societal renovation. Herein lies a compelling directive for you. Use your voice to foster change and stand up for what you believe in. By speaking out and leveraging your unique perspective, you can contribute to a more equitable and just world. Through these stories and insights, Zuckerberg's service-oriented mindset emerges as a powerful framework for making a difference. By recognizing your part in a larger mission, building community, acting responsibly, embracing long-term thinking, and using your voice for good, you can embody the principles that have driven Zuckerberg's success and use them to empower your own journey. To conclude, let's distill the essence of Mark Zuckerberg's service-oriented mindset into practical steps that you can take to elevate your impact on the world. Identify and articulate your mission. As Mark Zuckerberg once said, when you give everyone a voice and give people power, the system usually ends up in a really good place. Determine what you're passionate about and how you can give power to others through your work. Develop a community-centric approach. Just as Zuckerberg focused on building community through Facebook, seek ways to create and nurture communities in your field. Encourage collaboration, shared goals, and mutual support. Embrace a long-term vision. Avoid the temptation of quick wins that might compromise your values. We may not have the power to create the world we want immediately, but we can all start working on the long term today, Zuckerberg advises. Take responsibility for your influence. Understand the impact of your actions, whether you're developing new technology or leading a team. Commit to using your influence ethically and responsibly to serve the greater good. Use technology for social good. Reflect on how Zuckerberg leverages technology to create positive change and think about how you can do the same within your capabilities. Whether it's through data analytics, social media, or other digital tools, aim to utilize technology to solve real-world problems. Cultivate resilience and adaptability. Zuckerberg's journey is marked by his resilience in the face of challenges. Be prepared to pivot and adapt to new information and circumstances, always with an eye on your service-oriented mission. Actively listen and learn. Zuckerberg emphasizes the importance of listening to the needs and ideas of others. Foster a culture of open dialogue and continuous learning within your community or organization. Encourage transparency and integrity. I think as a company, you can get a sense of what people are really thinking and feeling, Zuckerberg has noted. Strive for transparency in your actions and maintain integrity in all your dealings to build trust and credibility. By incorporating these actionable takeaways into your life, you can uphold a service-oriented mindset like Mark Zuckerberg. It's about more than just aspiring to be a leader. It's about being a catalyst for positive change, one who empowers others and champions the collective advancement of society. Remember, the ripples of your service extend far beyond your immediate circle. They can indeed touch the lives of people around the globe. Now, take these insights, go forth, and be the leader who serves. Welcome back to Leader Lesson, Mark Zuckerberg. As we continue our journey into the mind of one of the most impactful leaders of our time, we turn our focus to a principle that has not only shaped Facebook, but has the power to transform the way we approach our own ambitions. Prioritize long-term impact. In a world that's changing really quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risks, Zuckerberg has said. With these words, we're reminded that true visionaries don't just chase the immediate win, they build for the future. In this chapter, we'll unpack the importance of setting goals with longevity in mind, measuring success by the sustainable value we create, and considering the lasting effects of our actions. Picture this: Facebook, a platform connecting billions, not satisfied with near-universal reach, looks to the horizon where 2/3 of the world still lacks internet access. We're here to help connect the world, and we take that really seriously, Zuckerberg declared, marking the company's 10th anniversary with a commitment to tackle one of the world's grandest challenges: universal connectivity. By the end of this chapter, armed with insights from Zuckerberg's playbook, you will be equipped with actionable advice to influence your projects and decisions for the better, ensuring they carry a long-term impact. Dive in with us as we explore how the dedication to grand, enduring goals can lead not just to success, but to a legacy. Let's take this inspiring thought forward. We just turned 10 as a company, and we decided that in our next 10 years, we want to take on some really big challenges in the world, like helping everyone get online. Imagine the powerful trajectory you can set for yourself and your endeavors when you prioritize transformation over transaction, purpose over profit, and the future over the fleeting. Join us as we delve into the mindset that has not only revolutionized social interaction, but continues to pave the way for a more connected and accessible world. This is Leader Lesson, Mark Zuckerberg, Prioritize Long-Term Impact. As we delve deeper into the mindset of prioritizing long-term impact, let's examine a profound shift that took place within Facebook, narrated by Mark Zuckerberg himself. In an era dominated by the viral nature of content, Zuckerberg made a bold decision to realign Facebook's product experience. He recounted, "We made one single change that wiped out 50 million hours of viral video watching a day in order to prioritize more content from people's communities. This change was rooted in the belief that meaningful interactions between friends are more valuable than the passive consumption of content." This story is a testament to the foresight required when building a sustainable platform. Zuckerberg recognized that while viral videos might boost short-term engagement, fostering connections between users would have a more enduring value. As you listen, consider how you can apply this approach in your own life. What are the viral videos in your projects or endeavors that may seem attractive in the short run, but ultimately distract from deeper, more meaningful goals? How can you cut through the noise to focus on actions that build genuine connections and provide lasting value? Moving on, we find another example of Zuckerberg's long-range vision with the advent of virtual reality. "I've seen this trajectory in technology where we keep on getting more immersive and natural ways to express ourselves," Zuckerberg explained. Facebook's investment in Oculus and its commitment to building the metaverse epitomize this pursuit of a more immersive future. It's a journey fueled by the belief that technology should evolve to enhance the way we express ourselves and interact with the world. As a listener aiming to prioritize long-term impact, reflect on the evolving landscape of your field. How can you stay ahead of the curve, leveraging emerging technologies to amplify your voice, your brand, or your mission? Imagine the potential for growth when you embrace the next frontier, be it virtual reality, augmented reality, or another transformative technology, and let that shape your strategic decisions. Zuckerberg's narrative also touches on the necessity of a higher purpose when steering a company through turbulent times. He recollects a pivotal moment when Facebook faced the temptation of acquisition, saying, "You see, my hope was never to build a company, but to make an impact." This focus on a larger mission held the company together and carried them past the allure of short-term financial gains. When you align with a cause greater than profit, it can galvanize your team and guide your decisions through adversity. Ask yourself, what is the impact you are striving to achieve? How can this vision sustain you and your organization through challenges and drive you toward a legacy of change? Remember, every decision you make can be a stepping stone to a future where your work doesn't just exist, but matters. By taking inspiration from Mark Zuckerberg's stories, you can start to build not only for tomorrow, but for the decades to come. Embrace the long-term vision and let it propel you toward a future rich with impact and innovation. As we conclude this chapter on Mark Zuckerberg's principle of prioritizing long-term impact, let's distill the essence of this philosophy into actionable steps you can take today. Here are key takeaways to empower you to build for the future, inspired by Zuckerberg's perspective. Evaluate success metrics beyond immediate results. As Zuckerberg shifted focus from viral content to meaningful interactions, assess which metrics best align with your long-term goals. Is it customer loyalty, brand reputation, or perhaps social impact? Example, instead of tracking short-term sales, measure customer satisfaction and repeat business over several years. Dare to disrupt the status quo for future gains. Zuckerberg's investment in virtual reality was a bet on the future of communication. Identify areas in your industry ripe for innovation and invest time or resources in them, even if the payoff isn't immediate. Example, allocate a portion of your R&D budget to explore emerging technologies, even if they don't contribute to current revenue streams. Stay true to your mission during challenging times. Reflecting Zuckerberg's commitment to impact over acquisition offers, define your core mission and let it be your compass when making difficult decisions. Example, write down your mission statement and revisit it during strategic planning sessions to ensure alignment with long-term objectives. Foster an environment that encourages taking calculated risks. Embrace Zuckerberg's view that the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risks, by creating a culture where innovative ideas are welcomed and failure is seen as a learning opportunity. Example, establish an innovation lab within your organization where team members can experiment with new ideas without the pressure of immediate results. Lead with empathy and a community-first approach. Zuckerberg's focus on connecting communities underscores the importance of building products and services that prioritize user needs and societal benefits. Example, engage with your community through forums or social media to understand their needs and how your organization can serve them better. Think globally, act locally. Zuckerberg's vision for universal connectivity illustrates the power of global thinking. Apply this by considering how your actions can have a ripple effect across the world, starting with local initiatives that have the potential to scale. Example, partner with local organizations to address a community issue, then use the insights gained to inform broader strategies. By applying these actionable insights, you can begin to lay the foundation for a future where your efforts have lasting significance. As Mark Zuckerberg has shown, prioritizing long-term impact isn't just about lofty goals. It's about making strategic choices today that will resonate for years to come. Remember, the path to creating a legacy is paved with the decisions we make every day. Let's take a page out of Zuckerberg's book and commit to thinking beyond the present to a time where our endeavors continue to bear fruit and inspire the next generation. This is Leader Lesson. Mark Zuckerberg, prioritize long-term impact. Keep building, keep dreaming, and keep impacting the world in ways that will outlast us all. Thank you for joining us, and until next time, keep leading with vision. Welcome back to Leader Lesson, Mark Zuckerberg, where we continue to delve into the mind of the tech visionary who forever changed how we connect. Today, we tackle the nuanced dance between high-minded ambition and the grounded steps of practical action in our chapter, Balance Idealism with Pragmatism. Move fast and break things. Unless you're breaking stuff, you are not moving fast enough, as Mark Zuckerberg once said. These words encapsulate the spirit of a leader who dreams in vast horizons yet navigates the intricate pathways of reality. But how do you chase a revolutionary vision while anchored in the grit of execution? In this chapter, we'll explore Zuckerberg's journey of turning luminous ideals into tangible results, a path fraught with challenges and resistance, yet illuminated by a steadfast resolve. As we dive into this narrative, recall the story of Facebook's early days, a time when the allure of a lucrative exit clashed with Zuckerberg's steadfast mission to connect the world. Picture a young CEO, steadfast in his conviction, surrounded by a tempest of dissenting voices. The pressure was immense, the stakes astronomical. Yet, it was Zuckerberg's ability to balance his grandiose dreams with a pragmatic approach to problem-solving that not only saved Facebook, but propelled it to unprecedented heights. Throughout this chapter, we'll draw from the wisdom embedded in Zuckerberg's experiences and insights. We'll examine how he harnessed challenges as vehicles for learning, acknowledging the impact of global shifts while staying adaptable, and how he approached complex social issues with a clear set of values and optimism. It's not just about solving the problems, Zuckerberg points out, reminding us that the compass guiding our decisions should be our values. Moreover, we'll learn from his acceptance of failure as an essential part of the journey. I think we're judged by the changes that we make, Zuckerberg reflects, underscoring the importance of the lessons we glean from our missteps and the resilience to pivot towards impactful change. By the end of this chapter, you will not only be inspired to dream with the boldness of a visionary, but equipped with actionable advice to remain agile and adaptable, a balance that Mark Zuckerberg himself has mastered. Prepare to harmonize your aspirational goals with realistic strategies and develop a readiness to adapt to the complexities of execution, because this chapter promises to be a masterclass in transforming visionary ideas into living, breathing realities. Stay tuned as we dissect, analyze, and learn how to synthesize idealism with pragmatism, the Mark Zuckerberg way. As Mark Zuckerberg once shared, we don't build services to make money, we make money to build better services. This statement reflects the core philosophy driving Zuckerberg's vision for Facebook. It's a sentiment that captures the essence of harmonizing aspirational goals with realistic strategies. He emphasizes the importance of mission, making the world more open and connected, and acknowledges that a great team and sustainable business model are equally crucial. As you listen to his narrative, it becomes clear that Zuckerberg is not simply a dreamer, but someone who understands the symbiosis between vision and viability. For you, this story emphasizes the importance of aligning your passion with practicality. It suggests that while you should certainly be driven by a compelling mission, you must also create a robust framework that enables that mission to thrive. It's about ensuring that your idealism can be sustained over time, that it can attract the right people, and that it can ultimately manifest into services or products that positively impact the world. Transitioning to another insightful story, Zuckerberg reflects on the birth of Facebook. I just wanted to make something where people can type in someone's name and get some information about them. Despite skepticism from even his own parents, he pursued this simple yet powerful idea. It wasn't about creating a company, it was about bringing a vision to life. And now, the world can indeed type in a name and learn about someone across the globe. This narrative is a testament to the power of staying true to one's convictions and the value of starting with a kernel of belief that can grow into something universally recognized. The takeaway for you is to start with what you believe in, even if it seems trivial or unappreciated at the moment. Begin small, remain flexible, and let the genuine need for what you're doing guide you. Your projects might evolve as they intersect with reality, but the core idea, the thing that makes you say, this would be kind of cool, right, can be the seed from which your own revolutionary ideas sprout. Zuckerberg's experiences teach us that sometimes the world doesn't align with our vision in the moment. He speaks about strategy amidst financial fluctuations. When interest rates go up, that weighs on all equity prices. But there are some people who are overly financial about thinking through strategy. He suggests that while economic factors are important, they should not deter you from pursuing long-term projects, even when others might be scaling back. The fact that he felt relieved to have announced Facebook's new vision before a less receptive period is a potent reminder that timing can be everything. For you, the message is to be perceptive and discerning. Know when to make your move and commit to it, even when external pressures suggest otherwise. There will always be fluctuations and shifts in the market or in public opinion, but your vision should be pursued with both foresight and tenacity. If you're convinced of your path, don't let temporal challenges dissuade you from pressing forward. Sometimes, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and the second best time is now. In synthesizing idealism with pragmatism, the Mark Zuckerberg way, it's about much more than just balancing two opposing forces. It's about weaving them together so that each strengthens the other. As you look to apply these lessons to your own life, remember, your grandest visions are viable when you build them on the foundation of a solid, adaptable strategy. Keep your ideals high, but your approach grounded and resilient. This is the art of turning dreams into reality, a craft Zuckerberg has demonstrated time and time again. And now, as we close this chapter on balance idealism with pragmatism in the spirit of Mark Zuckerberg, let's crystallize the insights from his journey into actionable takeaways for you to apply. Pursue learning as an ongoing process. As Mark Zuckerberg emphasizes the importance of learning, challenge yourself to acquire new skills and knowledge. Set personal challenges each year that stretch your capabilities and contribute to your vision. Navigate global changes with agility. Acknowledge the shifts brought about by globalization and technology, as Zuckerberg does, and adapt your strategies accordingly. Stay informed and pivot your approach when necessary to stay relevant and effective. Leverage new opportunities. In the face of change, be like the seafood sellers who expanded globally. Identify how you can repurpose your skills or products to meet new market demands or create new opportunities. Approach complex issues with a multifaceted strategy. Recognize, as Zuckerberg does, that complex problems require nuanced solutions. Don't shy away from complexity. Instead, develop a multi-pronged approach that reflects the diverse aspects of the issue at hand. Let values guide your decisions. Make sure your actions and strategies are rooted in your core values. As Zuckerberg suggests, clarity in your values ensures that your pragmatic choices align with your vision and ethical standards. Embrace failure as a learning opportunity. Reflect on setbacks and failures to extract valuable lessons. Remember that, as Zuckerberg puts it, change is what you're judged by, not your failures. Use these experiences to refine your approach and move forward with greater insight. Cultivate conscious experiences. Finally, consider the subjective nature of reality and the impact of conscious experience, as Zuckerberg alludes to in the context of virtual spaces. Apply this understanding to create products, services, or experiences that resonate on a deeper, more personal level with your audience or customers. By integrating these actionable steps into your personal and professional life, you begin to walk the line between idealism and pragmatism effectively, just as Mark Zuckerberg has done throughout his career. Dream with conviction, act with insight, and balance your aspirations with a grounded and adaptable strategy. This is how you transform visionary ideas into tangible successes. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Leader Lesson, Mark Zuckerberg. Be empowered to innovate and impact the world, balancing your dreams with pragmatic action. Stay tuned for our next chapter, where we continue to draw lessons from the world's most influential thought leaders. Welcome back to Leader Lesson, Mark Zuckerberg. Today, we dive into a profound chapter of Mark's philosophy titled Value Deep Relationships. Imagine standing at a crossroads in your life, the kind that shapes your entire future. For Mark Zuckerberg, one such moment led to a connection that eclipsed the birth of Facebook itself. "I'm going to get kicked out in 3 days, so we need to go on a date quickly," he quipped to Priscilla Chan, the woman who would become the cornerstone of his life. As we unravel the story of how a bathroom line at a Harvard party became a pivotal juncture, we see the unexpected ways profound relationships can form and the immense value they hold. In this chapter, we'll explore how to cultivate meaningful connections with others, as Mark Zuckerberg has done in both his personal life and at the helm of one of the world's most influential social platforms. He once said, "People have this deep thirst to understand what's going on with those around them." Zuckerberg's mission with Facebook was to quench this thirst by creating a space where people could foster genuine relationships despite physical distance. By the end of this chapter, you'll have gained actionable advice on nurturing strong bonds with colleagues, friends, and family, seeking out mentors, and being a reliable partner in all interactions, all underscored by Zuckerberg's own experiences and insights. As Mark Zuckerberg once said, "You should start with the problem that you're trying to solve in the world, and not start with deciding that you want to build a company." This philosophy extends beyond business into the personal realm, focusing on the problems we can solve for each other as human beings. By prioritizing the people in our lives, we address the core of what it means to connect. Join us as we delve into the value of deep relationships, learning from Mark's journey how to empower our connections with sincerity, dedication, and shared aspirations. Embrace the lessons that Zuckerberg has lived, making relationships the cornerstone of not just our work, but our lives. Let's begin this transformative journey together, right here on Leader Lesson. As we continue to unpack the theme of value deep relationships, let's delve into a transformative experience that Mark Zuckerberg shared, revealing the profound influence of mentorship in shaping his vision. When Facebook was just finding its footing, facing skepticism and tempting buyout offers, Zuckerberg sought guidance from a titan of technology, Steve Jobs. Zuckerberg recounts a pivotal moment when Jobs advised him to visit a temple in India to reconnect with his mission. Heeding this counsel, Zuckerberg embarked on a nearly month-long journey, immersing himself in a culture vastly different from his own. This experience not only reaffirmed his commitment to Facebook's mission of connecting the world, but also underscored the importance of seeking wisdom from those who have navigated their path before us. As you reflect on this story, consider the value of mentorship in your own life. The guidance of a mentor can serve as a compass during times of uncertainty, offering a fresh perspective that helps you stay true to your purpose. Just as Zuckerberg turned to Steve Jobs, you too can benefit from the wisdom of experienced individuals who inspire you to think bigger and dig deeper into your potential. Transitioning to another powerful narrative, Zuckerberg shared an intimate glimpse into his personal life, showing how commitment to community service can foster unexpected and enriching connections. He recalls how Priscilla, his wife, challenged him to teach a class at a local Boys and Girls Club. Despite his initial reluctance, citing the demands of running a company, he accepted the challenge. This act of service not only provided valuable lessons to the students, but also offered Zuckerberg insights into the diverse challenges they faced. Over 5 years, monthly dinners with the students evolved into a cherished tradition, culminating in a shared celebration of their academic achievements. Here lies a lesson for you. Giving your time to others can open doors to relationships that transcend the original context, enriching your life in unforeseen ways. Committing to mentorship or community service, even for just an hour or two a week, can make a significant difference in someone's life and your own. It's not solely about the act of giving, but also about the reciprocal learning and growth that occurs through these connections. Through these anecdotes, Zuckerberg's message is clear. Whether it's seeking advice from a mentor or teaching a group of students, the essence of meaningful connections lies in mutual enrichment and the shared journey of growth. As we forge ahead in our lives, let us remember the power of deep relationships, not just for the support they provide, but also for the ways they challenge us to become better versions of ourselves. Now, let's carry on this conversation about the value of deep relationships, just as Mark Zuckerberg has lived and advocated. Seek out mentors with experience. As Mark Zuckerberg turned to Steve Jobs during critical moments of Facebook's growth, identify leaders in your own field who can provide guidance and perspective. Reach out to them and express your desire to learn. Remember, mentorship is a two-way street, so consider what you can also bring to the table. Engage in community service. Zuckerberg found unexpected value in teaching at a local Boys and Girls Club, a commitment that lasted several years. Find a cause you are passionate about and offer your skills. The relationships built through service can offer new insights and deepen your understanding of the world around you. Embrace opportunities to learn from others. Just as Zuckerberg invested in people with potential, regardless of their past experiences, be open to learning from everyone you meet. Each person can offer a unique lesson or perspective that could be valuable to your personal or professional growth. Be determined and resilient. Reflecting on Facebook's history, Zuckerberg highlighted the importance of bouncing back from challenges. When faced with adversity, persevere and learn from your mistakes rather than giving up. This resilience will not only help you grow, but also strengthen the trust others have in you. Prioritize family and personal values. Zuckerberg's nightly routine with his children underscores the importance of instilling service and empathy from an early age. Make time for family and personal practices that ground you, whether it's a religious belief or a family tradition. These moments not only nourish your relationships, but also provide a foundation for your actions and decisions. As we conclude this chapter on value deep relationships, let's remember the importance of building a network of deep, meaningful connections. In the words of Mark Zuckerberg, it's about focusing on the problem you're trying to solve for others, not just building something for the sake of it. This principle is not only the core of lasting business success, but also a fulfilling personal life. Whether through seeking mentorship, engaging in community service, learning from those around us, showing resilience, or grounding ourselves in family and personal values, we can foster relationships that empower us and those we connect with. And with that, we wrap up today's transformative journey on Leader Lesson, Mark Zuckerberg. Stay tuned for our next episode where we will dive into another core principle from a renowned thought leader. Remember, the value of deep relationships goes beyond just a network. It's about enriching each other's lives and growing together. Now, go out there and make your connections count. Welcome back to Leader Lesson, Mark Zuckerberg. In this chapter, titled Foster a Culture of Directness, we dive into the heart of transparent communication and the courageous act of embracing the uncomfortable, the cornerstone of any innovative company. As Mark Zuckerberg once said, "I'm committed to the values that we're discussing today." Picture a table where every voice matters, where the exchange of ideas is not just encouraged but expected, even when those ideas challenge the status quo. This is the environment Zuckerberg strives to cultivate. It's not just about being heard, it's about listening, about engaging with the tough topics and the unvarnished truth. In the story we're about to unpack, Zuckerberg confronts the global apprehension surrounding the power of his platforms. He doesn't shy away. Instead, he establishes an independent oversight board, ensuring that decisions are made transparently and with fairness, embodying the very essence of directness he advocates. By the end of this chapter, you'll walk away with actionable insights on how to foster a culture of directness in your own sphere. You'll learn to be straightforward in your interactions, to offer and receive constructive feedback, and to value candor above comfort. Remember, as Zuckerberg himself acknowledges, we won't always get it right. But it's in the pursuit of open, honest communication that we find progress. And that's what this chapter is all about, equipping you with the tools to not only speak your truth, but to encourage others to speak theirs as well. Get ready to learn from the lessons of a leader who knows firsthand that embracing directness is not just about speaking clearly, but about laying the foundations for a culture where innovation and integrity walk hand in hand. Let's begin. As we continue our exploration of cultivating a culture of directness, let's delve into a profound moment of transparency Mark Zuckerberg shared regarding content moderation on his platforms. As Zuckerberg said, managing content is not just about customer service. It's akin to a court system where decisions inevitably create winners and losers. Imagine the weight of those decisions, the balancing act between free expression and community safety, and the understanding that no single individual should hold all that power. Zuckerberg's solution to this dilemma was both innovative and reflective of his commitment to directness and democracy. He stepped back, took a Rawlsian perspective, imagining himself in someone else's shoes, and questioned whether the concentration of such power in the hands of a CEO was equitable or sustainable. His conclusion led to the establishment of an independent oversight board, a body separate from the company's direct control to handle contentious content decisions. It was a bold step, acknowledging that sometimes the best way to be direct is to decentralize authority, to introduce a system that can objectively judge without the bias of vested interests. For you, as a leader or a team member, the takeaway is clear. When faced with complex challenges, especially those involving judgment calls that affect others, consider how you can distribute responsibility and create systems that ensure fairness. Embrace the discomfort of acknowledging that you don't have all the answers, and that directness can sometimes mean stepping aside to let a more impartial process take place. Moving forward, Zuckerberg's relentless pursuit of innovation carries lessons on resilience. He described entrepreneurship as a journey filled with setbacks and moments of intense struggle. It's in these times, he pointed out, that most people might give up, yet it's crucial to persevere. Zuckerberg's narrative isn't just about persistence, it's a testament to the value of open, honest communication with oneself about the realities of the journey. He doesn't romanticize the path. Instead, he addresses it with the candor that's necessary to endure and overcome the hurdles. You, too, can harness this level of self-awareness and honesty. When faced with adversity, communicate with yourself as directly as you would with others. Recognize the crazy amount of pain as part of the process, and use that recognition not as a deterrent, but as a motivator to push through. Directness in your internal dialogue can be as empowering as it is in your external interactions. Lastly, let's reflect on Zuckerberg's foray into virtual reality and the launch of Horizon Workrooms. This innovation wasn't just about creating a new product, it was about enhancing communication and connection in a rapidly changing digital landscape. Zuckerberg directly addresses a fundamental human need, the desire to interact with others, whether for work or play, no matter the physical or virtual space. He sees beyond the technology to its ability to foster connections. The lesson for you is to look at innovation not just as a means to an end, but as a conduit for better communication and collaboration. Whether you're leading a team or simply part of one, remember that the directness of your vision should always be aligned with enhancing relationships and opening up new possibilities for interaction. As we continue with Leader Lesson, Mark Zuckerberg, keep these insights in mind. Each story and each decision made by Zuckerberg underscores the importance of cultivating a culture where directness can thrive, where honesty is the bedrock of progress, and where communication is always geared towards building stronger, more resilient communities. Now let's bring this chapter to a close with some concrete steps to take away, inspired by Mark Zuckerberg's principle of fostering a culture of directness. Cultivate an environment of trust. Start with building a foundation where honesty is valued and protected. Encourage your team to speak up without fear of retribution. Remember, directness can only flourish where there's trust. Implement regular feedback loops. Just as Zuckerberg established an oversight board, create mechanisms within your team or organization for consistent, constructive feedback. This could be in the form of regular one-on-ones, anonymous surveys, or open forums. Encourage critical thinking. Stimulate a culture where questioning and critical analysis are seen as assets. As Mark Zuckerberg once said, the biggest risk is not taking any risk. Empower your team to challenge ideas and propose solutions. Practice active listening. Directness isn't just about speaking, it's equally about listening. Ensure that when others are direct with you, you're fully engaged and receptive to their perspective. Lead by example. Exhibit the behavior you wish to see. Be transparent with your own communications and decisions. Transparency from leadership encourages a trickle-down effect throughout the organization. Embrace discomfort. Direct conversations are often the hardest. Face the difficult discussions head-on and use them as opportunities for growth. Zuckerberg reminds us that it's okay to acknowledge we won't always get it right, but the key is to keep striving for openness and improvement. Decentralize decision-making. Avoid hoarding power. Share responsibilities and allow your team autonomy where possible. This empowers others and supports a culture of fairness and trust. Maintain self-awareness. Keep an open and honest dialogue with yourself about your goals, challenges, and areas for growth. This internal directness will strengthen your resolve and clarity when leading others. Innovate with purpose. As seen with Horizon Workrooms, use innovation to enhance communication and connection. Always align new initiatives with the core goal of improving collaborative efforts. By embracing these actionable steps, inspired by Mark Zuckerberg's approach, you can work towards fostering a culture of directness in your own sphere, a culture that promotes progress, innovation, and integrity. Keep these lessons in mind as you continue on your leadership journey, always remembering the power of directness to drive meaningful change and build a more connected community. And with that, we wrap up our leader lesson, Mark Zuckerberg, on fostering a culture of directness. Stay tuned for more insights and strategies from the minds of transformative leaders. Welcome back to Leader Lesson, Mark Zuckerberg. In this chapter, Invest in Talent and Growth, we're diving into the crux of what it means to recognize and harness the potential within your team. Picture this, a young CEO in a Harvard dorm room, turning a college project into one of the world's most influential social platforms. How? By doing what most overlook, investing in raw talent and fueling relentless growth from within. Mark Zuckerberg once remarked, "Making it so we could grow faster was the most important product feature that we ended up building for Facebook." His vision transcends traditional marketing, focusing instead on leveraging the product itself to foster expansion. This approach, rigorous with data and rich with investment in engineering, is a testament to nurturing capability and ambition. As we unravel this chapter, you'll uncover strategies to identify and encourage the innate talent within your own team. You'll learn how to provide the resources they need to sharpen their skills and how to empower them to leap into new challenges. This isn't just about growth, it's about creating an environment where growth is inevitable. The best levers for doing that are within the product themselves, Zuckerberg observed, hinting at the symbiotic relationship between product excellence and team development. By the end of this chapter, you will possess actionable advice on fostering a culture of learning and opportunity, straight from the playbook of a leader who has mastered the art of turning potential into progress. Stay tuned as we delve into the heart of investing in talent and growth, where you'll gain insights on how to cultivate a team that not only meets the mark, but redefines it, inspired by none other than Mark Zuckerberg himself. Let's grow together. Continuing our exploration into invest in talent and growth, let's consider a story that Mark Zuckerberg shared about his approach to hiring and nurturing talent. As Zuckerberg once said, we invest in people who we think are just really talented, even if they haven't done that thing before. He emphasized the importance of recognizing raw talent over experience, citing examples from hiring fresh university graduates to their CFO who hadn't taken a company public before. Imagine being assessed not just on what you've done, but what your potential says you could do. Zuckerberg has a knack for spotting that potential. He looks beyond the resume into the uncharted capabilities that lie within individuals, capabilities that can drive an organization to unprecedented heights if given the chance to flourish. For you as a listener, this story is an invitation to rethink how you evaluate and invest in people. Look beyond conventional markers of success and consider the innate talents that individuals bring to the table. Encourage your team members to step out of their comfort zones, to take on new challenges, and to grow in ways they, and perhaps even you, didn't think were possible. This is how you build a team that's not only adaptable, but also eager to innovate and push boundaries. As we move forward, we find Zuckerberg's philosophy echoed in the evolution of social media as a platform for economic opportunity. He recognizes that social media isn't just a tool for connection, but also a medium for creators and small businesses to thrive. Zuckerberg said, "There are hundreds of millions of small businesses who use our services in ways that they tell us are really important for making a living for them." This belief in the entrepreneurial spirit underpins Facebook's commitment to providing a platform where individuals and businesses can prosper. This story is a testament to the power of platforms that can amplify talent and facilitate growth. Think of the ways you can create or leverage platforms in your field to help your team, your partners, or even yourself to harness the vast potential of the digital economy. Whether you're a creator, a small business owner, or a leader in your organization, the lesson here is to recognize and build upon the opportunities technology affords for economic and personal growth. Zuckerberg's journey from a curious child playing games on his parents' computer to the architect of Facebook reveals a relentless pursuit of learning through practice, experimentation, and improvement. He recollected, "The first games that I built were really terrible, but it was good practice, and I learned from them." His path demonstrates that mastering a craft is a process, one that often begins with crude attempts and evolves through persistent effort and self-belief. You, too, can embrace this approach. Allow yourself the space to experiment, to fail, and to learn from those failures. Encourage your team to do the same. Foster a culture where the process of learning is valued as much as the end result. This is how you create a resilient and innovative team capable of achieving greatness over time, inspired by the iterative journey of a leader like Zuckerberg. In conclusion, let's distill the essence of Mark Zuckerberg's approach to invest in talent and growth into actionable steps that you can apply to your life and career. Here are key takeaways, each reflecting the Facebook CEO's unique perspective on nurturing talent and fostering growth. Prioritize potential over pedigree. When hiring or collaborating, focus on a person's latent abilities rather than their past achievements. As Zuckerberg has shown, untapped potential can yield extraordinary results when given the right opportunities. Cultivate a learning environment. Encourage continuous education and skill development within your team. Create a culture where learning is part of the daily routine, just as Zuckerberg emphasized the importance of practice and experimentation. Embrace calculated risks. Don't be afraid to assign important tasks to those who show promise, even if they lack experience in that specific domain. Zuckerberg took chances on people who hadn't done that thing before, which often led to innovation and growth. Build platforms for opportunity. Just as Facebook provides a springboard for small businesses and creators, consider how you can create or leverage platforms that enable your team or community to showcase their talents and expand their reach. Foster adaptability and resilience. Promote a mindset that embraces change and learns from setbacks. Zuckerberg's iterative process in his early programming days underscores the value of resilience in the path to mastery. Invest in relationships and community. Remember that growth is not just about individual talent, but also about building a strong community. As Zuckerberg has said, the power of human connections can transform the trajectory of careers and businesses. Look forward, anticipate the future. Stay curious about emerging technologies and trends. Be proactive in preparing your team for the future, just as Zuckerberg is steering Facebook towards the potential of the metaverse and AI. By integrating these actionable insights into your own leadership style or personal development strategy, you can emulate Mark Zuckerberg's success in identifying and nurturing talent and in creating an environment where growth is not just a goal, but a natural outcome of the culture you foster. Remember, the journey of innovation and personal development is ongoing. Keep pushing boundaries, stay open to learning, and empower those around you to do the same. That's how you turn potential into progress, inspired by the leadership lesson from Mark Zuckerberg. Welcome back to Leader Lesson, where we dive into the minds of those who shape the world with their innovative visions. As we continue our exploration of Mark Zuckerberg's impactful journey, we turn the page to a vital chapter: leverage technology for societal benefit. As we build a global community, everyone has a part to play, Mark Zuckerberg once said, a sentiment that encapsulates the essence of this chapter. Here we'll uncover how the digital landscape can be cultivated to nurture society, how platforms can serve as catalysts for change, and how each of us can contribute to a more inclusive, educated, and connected world. In our story, Zuckerberg emphasizes the importance of a collaborative ecosystem in technology. We're not just building technology, we're trying to also help foster this ecosystem, because at the end of the day, we're not going to build most of the content. The vast majority of it is going to be created by creators in the ecosystem. This vision of empowering creators is pivotal to understanding how to channel technology for the greater good. Delving into this chapter, expect to emerge with practical insights on how to implement technological solutions that address societal issues, promote digital literacy, and support initiatives aimed at bridging inequality gaps. Drawing on Zuckerberg's expertise and dedication, you'll find inspiration to not only envision, but enact positive changes through technology. Join us as we navigate this journey of societal transformation through tech, guided by one of the most influential thought leaders of our time. By the end of this chapter, you'll have gained actionable advice to drive forward a future where technology and humanity align to uplift and empower communities worldwide. Welcome to Leverage Technology for Societal Benefit. Let's begin. Drawing upon Mark Zuckerberg's visionary tales, let's delve into a story that showcases the transformative power of technology. As Mark Zuckerberg once said, imagine a world where the need for physical screens becomes obsolete, replaced by augmented reality, AR, glasses projecting digital holograms. This isn't just a science fiction fantasy. It's a future Zuckerberg and his team are ardently working towards. Envision the revolutionary impact on creativity and innovation when any individual, from a young enthusiast halfway across the globe to a tech giant like Samsung, can contribute to the digital landscape with their unique creations. Now, let's translate this narrative into a personal takeaway for you. Consider the barriers that currently exist in your field or passion. How could emerging technology dismantle these barriers, and how can you be a part of that transformation? Just as Zuckerberg envisions AR glasses unleashing a new wave of creativity, Your participation in the tech ecosystem could catalyze change in ways yet unimagined. The key takeaway here is not to wait passively for the future, but to actively engage with the technology available today to shape the world of tomorrow. Another profound insight from Zuckerberg touches on the monumental tasks of combating climate change, modernizing democracy, and personalizing education. He believes in taking on these challenges with a collective approach that involves everyone in society, creating not only progress, but also purpose. Reflecting on Zuckerberg's words, you might ask yourself how your own endeavors could contribute to these grand aspirations. Whether it's through supporting sustainable practices, engaging in civic activities, or advocating for educational reform, your role in this collective mission is critical. The story here teaches us that societal advancement is not solely in the hands of a few, but thrives on the participation of the many, and you are a part of that. The internet's reach is yet another domain where Zuckerberg has left a notable mark. His efforts through initiatives like internet.org have connected millions of people to the vast knowledge and opportunities the internet offers. This endeavor illustrates the importance of inclusivity and the profound impact of expanding digital access. As you listen to this story, consider the implications of digital inclusivity in your life. How can you contribute to narrowing the digital divide? Whether it's through supporting local initiatives, educating others on digital literacy, or advocating for internet access in underserved areas, you have the power to facilitate global connectivity. Finally, Zuckerberg's focus on accessibility features on Facebook exemplifies a commitment to inclusivity and the responsibility of tech leaders to consider all users. The story of AI enabling blind individuals to see photos through auditory descriptions is a testament to the potential of technology to improve lives. This narrative should inspire you to look at your work through a lens of accessibility and inclusivity. How can the products or services you offer be made accessible to a broader audience? Your actions, much like Zuckerberg's, can break down barriers and open doors to new possibilities for those who face challenges in accessing technology. In essence, these stories from Mark Zuckerberg's journey demonstrate how technological innovations can be leveraged for societal benefit. As you navigate your path, remember the lessons these stories impart. Be a driver of change, engage with your community, advocate for inclusivity, and never underestimate the role you can play in creating a better, connected, and more accessible world. As we wrap up this chapter of Leader Lesson, focusing on Mark Zuckerberg's principle of leveraging technology for societal benefit, here are the actionable takeaways that you, our audience, can apply in your own lives and endeavors. Identify pressing issues within your community. Just as Mark Zuckerberg highlighted the importance of using technology to strengthen social fabric, look around your community for problems that technology could help solve. It could be as simple as creating a local online forum to discuss community issues, or as complex as developing an app to manage waste recycling. Set ambitious personal growth goals. Embrace learning and self-improvement through technology. Whether it's taking online courses, participating in virtual seminars, or simply learning a new tech skill, use the digital tools available to enhance your capabilities as Zuckerberg does. Foster virtual communities. Utilize social media and other online platforms to build or join groups that share your interests or advocacies. These communities can be powerful in creating connections and fostering support networks. Digital democracy. As Mark Zuckerberg believes in the power of platforms to uphold democracy, become an advocate for digital literacy and responsible social media usage. Educate others on how to discern credible information online and encourage informed digital discussions. Promote inclusivity and accessibility. Inspired by Facebook's features for the visually impaired, assess how inclusive your technology use is. Advocate for and develop solutions that make digital content and services accessible to all, regardless of their abilities. Support internet accessibility initiatives. Following Zuckerberg's internet.org initiative, find ways to contribute to increasing internet access in underserved areas. This could involve donating to nonprofits, volunteering, or advocating for policy changes that promote internet affordability. Embrace innovation as a tool for change. Encourage and participate in technological innovation that can address societal challenges. Share your ideas, collaborate with like-minded individuals, and support entrepreneurial efforts that aim to make a positive impact. Actively engage with technology today. Don't wait for future advancements. Start making a difference now. Use current technologies creatively to address societal issues and improve lives. Your action today could lead to groundbreaking changes tomorrow. As Mark Zuckerberg once said, the biggest risk is not taking any risk. In a world that is changing really quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risks. With this in mind, step forward with courage and creativity to leverage technology for societal benefit. You have the potential to make a significant impact and be a part of the transformative journey that Zuckerberg envisions. Remember, it's not just about technology, it's about the human connections and improvements that technology can facilitate. So go forth, innovate, connect, and contribute to building a better world for us all. Thank you for joining us on this chapter of Leader Lesson. Stay tuned for more insights from the world's most inspiring thought leaders. Welcome back to Leader Lesson. As we continue our exploration into the minds of the world's most influential figures, we turn the page to a chapter that sits at the heart of modern leadership: embrace, change, and innovation. Imagine a world where every barrier is a new opportunity, where the canvas of your phone's camera unlocks a universe of augmented realities. This isn't a speculative fiction, it's a chapter from the vision of Mark Zuckerberg for our technological future. We're going to make the camera the first mainstream augmented reality platform, he declared, painting a picture of a world forever transformed by innovation. In this chapter, we delve deep into how to adopt a mindset that not only welcomes but thrives on change, pioneering new approaches in an ever-evolving landscape. The biggest risk is not taking any risk, Zuckerberg once said. His ethos is a testament to the power of a forward-thinking attitude, one that constantly seeks out the new, the untried, the transformative. As we unpack the layers of embracing change and innovation, you will learn to stay ahead of the curve, pivot strategies with agility, and foster a culture that celebrates the daring leap into the unknown. Because, as Zuckerberg understands, in a world that's changing really quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risks. This chapter isn't just about understanding Zuckerberg's vision, it's about equipping you with the tools to mirror his inventive spirit in your own endeavors. By the time we reach our conclusion, you'll have actionable advice on how to harness the winds of change to sail towards success. Join us as we explore the very essence of innovation, guided by a leader who has reshaped our world time and again. Let's learn how to not only navigate, but also to lead in a sea of change, with Mark Zuckerberg as our compass. Welcome to a chapter of possibilities. Welcome to embrace change and innovation. As Mark Zuckerberg once recounted, the story of Albert Einstein's journey with the theory of relativity reflects a powerful lesson in embracing the unknown and learning from failure. Einstein's initial resistance to the concept of black holes and quantum mechanics serves as a profound example of how even the most brilliant minds can hold on to beliefs that later proved to be incorrect. Yet, it was his willingness to experiment and improve upon his theories that ultimately led to his groundbreaking contributions to science. For you, as an emerging leader or innovator, this story underscores the importance of being open to new ideas and willing to adjust your course, even when it means challenging your deepest convictions. The takeaway here is to be fearless in your pursuit of knowledge and innovation, recognizing that the path to true discovery is often lined with trials and errors. Your ability to learn from these experiences and continue pushing boundaries can lead to transformative successes that will define your legacy. In another illustration of visionary thinking, Zuckerberg shared his excitement for virtual and augmented reality technologies. He emphasized how these advances are not just about the technology itself, but about the deep human connection they can foster, providing the sense of presence and shared experience that far surpasses any previous communication mediums. This insight invites you to look beyond the surface of new technologies or trends and to consider their potential to enrich human lives and experiences. When you evaluate new ideas or projects, Ask yourself how they can create a more connected and immersive world. Think of innovation not just as a tool for advancement, but as a means of bringing people together in ways previously unimaginable. Reflecting on the early days of Facebook, Zuckerberg shared a candid moment of humility, revealing that he never imagined his platform would become the global community it is today. He thought bigger companies with more resources would be the ones to connect the world. Yet, it was his openness to possibility and the belief that the future would be vastly different from the present that enabled him and his team to build something revolutionary. Here lies a powerful message for you. Do not underestimate your potential to enact change. Regardless of your starting point or the giants in your field, your unique perspective and willingness to embrace the future can set you on a path to creating something extraordinary. Believe in your vision and take bold steps toward it, even in the face of uncertainty or doubt. Zuckerberg's story of realizing the social challenge as the biggest barrier to internet connectivity also sheds light on the importance of understanding the needs and motivations of people. It's not just about providing the tools or technology, it's about making them relevant and valuable to those you wish to serve. For you, this translates to always seeking a deeper understanding of your audience or market. When you innovate, do so with empathy and insight, ensuring that what you create resonates with the people at the center of your mission. By connecting with their desires and addressing their challenges, you pave the way for meaningful change and widespread adoption. Drawing from his own experiences, Mark Zuckerberg reiterates the power of a forward-thinking mindset. His stories and insights serve as a beacon for anyone looking to lead in a world of constant change. Embrace the unknown, champion the new, and stay connected to the human element at the heart of all innovation. As you journey through your endeavors, let these principles guide you to a future where you, too, can leave an indelible mark on the world. Now, as we close this chapter on embrace change and innovation, let's distill Mark Zuckerberg's approach into actionable steps you can take to harness the transformative power of change and innovation in your own leadership journey. Here are key takeaways. Prioritize learning and curiosity. As Mark Zuckerberg himself once remarked, the only way to predict the future is to have the power to shape it. Make continuous learning a non-negotiable part of your routine. Stay curious and keep abreast of the latest trends, technologies, and ideas in your field. Encourage a culture of risk-taking. Just as Zuckerberg has done with his teams, create an environment where taking calculated risks is encouraged. Celebrate both successes and the lessons learned from failures, understanding that both are invaluable to the innovation process. Set audacious goals. Zuckerberg's vision for connecting billions of people was once a dream that seemed out of reach. Set goals that stretch your capabilities and inspire you to push beyond the conventional boundaries. Invest in relationships and community. Remember Zuckerberg's emphasis on human connection. Build a strong network of collaborators and supporters. Foster a sense of community within your team where everyone feels valued and empowered to contribute to change. Be adaptable. Move fast and break things was once a motto of Facebook. While it has evolved, the core principle remains: be willing to pivot quickly in response to new information, feedback, or changes in the market. Drive innovation with empathy. Consider the impact of your innovations on real people. As Zuckerberg has shown, understanding the social aspects of your audience can lead to more meaningful and successful products or services. Think long-term. Zuckerberg once said, "In our society, we often overvalue short-term thinking at the expense of long-term strategy." Align your actions with a vision for the future, not just immediate gains. Communicate your vision clearly. Just as Zuckerberg has articulated his vision for Meta, ensure that your ideas are communicated clearly to your team, investors, and customers. A compelling narrative can galvanize support and drive collective action. By applying these insights from Mark Zuckerberg's leadership, you can navigate the uncertainties of change and emerge as a pioneer of innovation in your field. Embrace the unknown, challenge the status quo, and be relentless in your pursuit of progress. Let your actions today be the foundation of a better tomorrow, and may your path be marked by continuous innovation and inspired leadership. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Leader Lesson, Mark Zuckerberg. Stay tuned for more insights from the world's greatest minds to empower your journey to leadership excellence. As we close this leader lesson on Mark Zuckerberg, let's reflect on the essence of what it means to be an innovator and a leader in a world where the only constant is change. Today, we've journeyed through the mind of a man who turned a dorm room project into a global phenomenon, who faced down challenges and skepticism to redefine the way we connect with one another. Zuckerberg has shown us that to lead is to embrace incremental progress, to be fearless in the face of uncertainty, and to hold fast to a vision of a more connected, empowered humanity. Remember his words, "Ideas don't come out fully formed. They only become clear as you work on them. You just have to get started." And the biggest risk is not taking any risk. In a world that is changing really quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risks. These quotes encapsulate the spirit of embracing change and innovation, principles that are fundamental to your growth and success. So as you step forward from this leader lesson, carry with you the actionable insights and motivation you've gleaned. Know that each small step you take is part of a greater journey towards impact and greatness. You are the outliers for success, the visionaries of tomorrow, and this is your time to start, to risk, to grow. Now, if you found value in this episode and the wisdom of Mark Zuckerberg resonates with you, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and podcast. Share this with someone who could use a dose of inspiration and join the conversation by commenting with your thoughts and insights. Explore other Leader Lesson episodes to continue growing and learning from the world's foremost thought leaders. Together, let's build a community of forward thinkers, changemakers, and leaders of innovation. Thank you for investing your time with us. Your journey to leadership excellence is just beginning, and we're here to support you every step of the way. Remember, the future is not just to be predicted, it's to be created. So go ahead, create, innovate, and lead with the confidence of having learned from the best. Until next time, keep leading with vision and never stop learning.